Okay, first of all, just to remind you that, and I will send this into the group as well in case you don't have this. You need to have this table tomorrow, and saya cadangkan that if you can, please print out like one sheet lah. Okay, or if you have it now, kalau ada, tetapi it's like in all your paper stacks, pergi korek lah. Okay, you will definitely need this table tomorrow. Okay, so make sure that you have a copy of this table. The formula is given to you, okay, in page 2 of every question paper. So don't worry about the formula. But again, like I said, not every formula is going to be there lah. Okay, only the ones that are important but difficult to remember. Okay, so things like the x equals to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac square root over 2a, that one akan diberi. Okay, so don't worry about that. Trigonometric functions, yes, all trigonometric identities will be given. Most trigonometric identities will be given. Okay, I know the double angle and the addition formula formulas will be given lah. Those are definitely given. Okay, but simple things like how to calculate mean, how to calculate standard deviation, macam tidak diberi. Okay, sorry, I don't remember lah. I need to go and double check again. Okay, so let's go into this. I'm going to try and cover as much of it as I can. Okay, so we are at S2P2, and the last time we finished this, we finished at question 7. Okay, now we're going to go to question 8. Question 8 is section B of paper 2, and you're given 4 questions. You have to choose 3. Okay. At this point in time, we don't know what chapters it's going to come out from. Okay, but in this particular paper, dia letak probability distributions, okay, then linear law, okay, and then this is coordinate geometry, and then finally is this is apa ini? Integration. Okay, we know that the section C is definite lah. Section C is definite. It's a solution of triangle and index number. Okay, so unless you have already taken tuition on how to answer this one, okay, question number 13, which is the motion in a straight line and how to do linear programming. Okay, if you have taken tuition, you want to answer this question, go ahead and answer. But if you haven't, then you have no choice in this matter. Like you have to answer solution of triangles and you have to answer index number. Okay, but moving on to section B. Yeah? So let's start with question A. This is a probability distributions question. Okay, and as a reminder, there are 2 probability distributions. We spent a very long time on this, okay, which is binomial distribution and normal distribution. Okay, so let's go into this. Probability that the student gets an offer to study in science stream is 0.36. Wow. Okay, it is given that 40 students in the class Form 3 Bestari will be selected to be divided into science stream and art stream class when they study in Form 4. Calculate the probability that exactly 28 students. Okay, now the words exactly, the words at least 3 students okay, and of course the number of students is very little, like it's only 40 students. Okay, so this brings to us the binomial distribution. Okay, let's do a little bit of recap. Okay, in the binomial distribution, okay, we did a PBL on this somehow, so I hope you still remember. The 3 most important letters are the N, the P, the Q. Okay, how many samples do you have? What is the probability of success for that particular sample? And what is the probability of failure? That's NPQ. Okay, R will change from time to time. Okay, that is from question to question. Okay, and from this, we can find that the probability of X equals to R, okay, is NCR P to the power R Q to the power of N minus R. Okay, it's a very standard formula, and just remember to multiply it correctly lah. Okay, yang saya sangat khawatir ini adalah betul sudah kau punya ini, tapi kau darab dengan salah, which is like, so sad. Kan? Okay, then the second one is the mean. Okay, the mean is given by mu, which is n times p square root. No, mana the square root, sorry, n times p. Please correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. N times p, right? Yeah. The variance Okay, the variance, which is sigma squared, is equals to n times p times q. And by extension, the standard deviation will be square root of npq lah. Okay, that's very normal. Now, in our case over here, okay, we are given exactly 40 students. Okay, so this is our n. Okay, and then dia cakap the probability that dia kena offer science stream adalah 0.36. So let's assume that this is the p first. Okay, and from the p we can get the value of q. Okay, how do you get the value of q? Remember, p plus q equals to 1. So if p is 0.36, q will be 1 minus 0.36, which is 0.64. Okay, so all these relationships, I hope that you still remember and you still understand. Okay, so calculate the probability that exactly 28. So this would be our R. Okay, it's very straightforward. Exactly 28. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me just check. Exactly 28 students are selected to study in the science stream. Okay, so exactly 28 means R equals to 28. Okay, so P x equals to 28 equals to n is what? 40C28 times P is 0.36 to the power of 28. Gosh, to the power of 28 lagi tu. Okay, and then 0.64 to the power of 40 minus 28. Okay, if you are already like macam pro sudah kan, tidak payahlah kamu tulis ini 40 minus 28 lah. Kamu terus tulis 12. Okay, just bear in mind that this number and this number, when you add together, must equal to this number. 28 plus 12 equals to 40. Hold on, let me just double check. 28, 12, 0.36. Study in the science stream. Okay, all right. Can we calculate this, please? Sorry, I don't have the answers for this. No, I do have the answers for this. But yeah, go ahead, calculate it and tell me the answer, please. It's a very, very small number because it's like besar or the number, besar your head lah. It's very small. It's times 10 to the power of maybe -6 or -7. Okay, 9.949 times 10 to the power of, how many zeros there are? Okay, times 10 to the power of -6. It is still not 0. Okay, don't worry. It is still bigger than 0. 0.000000949 is still bigger than 0. Okay, so don't worry about it. All right, that's question A1. Okay, let's look at A2. At least 3 students in the class, okay, is selected to study in the science stream. At least 3 means what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way until 40, which is kind of crazy lah, kan? You want to count the probability of x equals to 3 all the way until 40, which is like, punyalah ramai kan? Ini baru 28 orang saja, terus kau dapat nombor yang sangat kecil. So again, remember, binomial distribution, maximum they will ask you to count is 4 or 3 probabilities. Okay, 3 until 40 is a crazy amount of number. Ini kalau PBL baru boleh lah kan. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way until 40. So we have to do the inverse of it. Because in binomial distributions, all the probabilities when you add together, whether it is only 10 sample or whether it's 40 sample or 100 sample, all the probabilities equal to 1. Therefore, I can say that this is 1 minus P0, P1, and P2. Okay, 0, 1, and 2. So 3 sampai 40 sudah kena longgok dia punya probability. So you're left with just 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so different people, please individually count. Tell me what is the probability of 0, What is the probability of 1 and what is the probability of 2? Okay, I'm just going to write this at the side here to give you all a bit of a boost. 40 C0, 0.36 for 0, 0.264 power of 40. P is 1, 40 C1, 0.36 to the power 1, 64 to the power 39, and P2 is 40 C2, 0.36 power 2, 0.64 power of 38. Okay, yes. So please count and tell me, just write down there 0 is berapa, 1 is berapa, 2 is berapa, so that I know which probability you're referring to. Okay, so when you calculate this, 1 minus blah, blah, and blah, okay, you will get about the answer 0.99999 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then 5224. Okay, this is a very, not to say a very strange question lah, but okay, macam mana kalau kamu dapat jawapan macam ni? Our first instinct is to, bundarkan lah. But if you bundarkan, it becomes 1. Definitely cannot be 1. Because the total probability is 1. Mana boleh satu tolak semua ini sama dengan satu juga? Cannot be, right? Okay, so just a little bit of advice lah. If it comes to like this, then I would suggest that you write the entire answer in your calculator out. Okay, some books will probably stop here, 0.999995, and then stop. Okay, boleh. Kalau saya tu boleh tu. But I suspect that whoever did this answer wrote the entire calculator out lah. Sebab you cannot round off. Definitely you cannot round off, because if you round off, it becomes 1, and the answer cannot be 1. Definitely cannot be 1. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. If 1 is binomial, you know that this next one is definitely normal. Okay, mean 52 and the standard deviation is 6.4. Okay, let's do a little bit of recap. For normal distribution, okay, for normal distribution, depending on whether you want to or not, we usually use the table method lah, which is we start with the x value and then we change it to z value, x minus mu over sigma. Remember that mu is the mean and sigma is the standard deviation. Okay, and then after that we find the probability, we draw the graph. Okay, and then kita lorek lah. Okay, kita lorek mana satu, and then finally we use the probability. Sorry, this is not P. This is supposed to be, what is the word that I put here? Graph kan? Okay, graph. So generally we use the table method, the tab 4y method, which is the innovation by this Cikgu Jamalia in Tuaran. Okay, so it's a good guide for us lah. Okay, to use this. And then of course don't forget the petua yang saya bagi bahkan. Oh gosh, whether z is positive, okay, or z is negative. Kalau kita work from probability backwards bahkan. Okay, we want to know whether z is positive or z is negative. Okay, so the two situations are, if z is positive, if the probability is more than 0.5. Sorry. The probability is more than 0.5 and what is the other one? Dia kan sama arah itu. The probability is more than 0.5 and ada dua itu. Oh, the probability is more than 0.5. Okay, and then the sign. Okay, the sign is less than. Kan dia punya arrow adalah less than. Okay, the other, of course, the flip side is the probability is less than 0.5 and the sign in the question is more than. Okay, ini adalah Z positif. Z adalah negatif kalau dia sama arah. Probability is more than 0.5 and the sign is more than. Probability is less than 0.5 and the sign in the question is less than. Okay, of course, the sign and the probability ini kau kena analisis sendirilah. We analyze the question and then we find out. And then generally, okay, just to recap, if there are two parts to the question, one part is always dari X pergi P, and then the next part is dari P pergi X, usually. Okay, usually. Okay, let's take a look at the question. So mean and standard deviation is given. Okay, you're given the probability that a member chosen has a mass of less than 48 kg. Alamak. Sorry. Okay, mass of less than 48 kg. Okay, so let's have this in mind. What is the mean? Mean 52, standard deviation 6.4. Okay. So mean is 52, standard deviation 6.4. Okay, we want to have our X value is 48 kg. Am I right? 48 kg. Okay. So 48 kg, let's change it to Z value. So 48 minus our mean is 52. Okay, over sigma is 6.4. This will give us negative 0.625. So negative 0.625 is over here, and we want less than, bahkan. Okay, because the question say less than. So less than means kita bulatkan itu dan kita lorek. Alright. Then daripada graph, this tells us that kita boleh baca terus. Okay, 0.625. And that is where our table comes in. Okay, 0.625. Okay, let's recap this table a little bit. Remember that everything at the sides, okay, ini semua adalah the Z score. Okay, dan everything in the center over here, this is the probability. So depending on which way your table you're going lah. Kalau daripada Z kamu mencari probability, then kamu baca di tepi dulu. Kalau dari probability kamu mencari Z, then kamu baca dari tengah, kau cari di tepi. Okay, so recap. All of this is just recap. Alright. So, berapa nilai Z kita? 0.625. Okay, so 0.62 is here, right? Okay, but we need another 5 over here. So, kita tolak dengan 16. So 0.2676 minus 16. Okay, you get about 0.266. 0.266. Done. Okay, so this is the usage of the table from the left to the right. Okay, which is a very standard question lah. Mesti satu soalan dari kiri ke kanan. The next question most likely is from the right to the left. Okay, hold on. Let me duplicate this page. Second question is the value of M. Definitely lah. The value of M if 25% of the members have mass of more than M kg. Okay, let's take a look. 25%. That's our probability. How do we change percent to probability? We divide by 100. So our probability is 0.25. Okay, let's make a note over here. This is less than 0.5. Okay, the question says more. Okay, so this is, the sign is more. So our probability is less than 0.5. Our sign is more. Okay, so probability is less than 0.5. Our sign is more, this one. So that means we know that our Z is a positive value. Okay, so let's put in the probability first, 0.25. Okay, 0.25. We know that the Z is a positive value, so don't worry about this. Okay, Z is a positive value and is more. So here, sini kita punya tempat lorek. Oh, I should have changed the red color. Pink color or whatever color this is. Okay, 0.25. Now, how do we find the Z score? We go back to our friend, the table. Okay, kita mau 0.25 probability ya, mau cari Z. Jadi, jangan membaca dari tepi. Because tepi adalah Z mau cari probability. We are now probability mau cari Z. So, kita kena start dari tengah. Ever since Eva introduced this to me kan, I'm having so much fun with this. Kasi delete ini kan. Okay, so 0.25 in the probability. Okay, which is somewhere here. Alright, which is somewhere here. So kita carilah yang tertepat. Okay, so we have 0.2546, 0.2514. This looks like the nearest. Okay, and then kita tolak dengan 14. Because we want 0.2500 saja kan. But the problem is, we only have 13 or 16. We don't have a 14. Okay? And so, sometimes I get students that, oh, tiada 14 oh sir, jadi macam mana? Matilah. Jangan juga mati. Okay? Choose the next best. If you can't have the best, it's okay to settle for the second best. Wow. Macam counter culture ni kan. Orang mau jadi yang terbaik. Sometimes it's okay to be second best. Because maybe the next time you get the best. Okay, anyway, jangan lagi membebel, Marcus, jangan membebel. Okay, so 0.2514 tolak 13. So we will get, okay, let's read this. We will get 0.67, and since we are minusing this, 4. 0.674 is the reading that we want. Okay, and we know already it is a positive value. So Z equals to 0.674. Can you find the X value? Of course you can. You already have the mean, you already have the Z, and you already have the standard deviation. Okay, so the mean is 52. So 0.64 equals to X minus 52 over 6.4. Okay, and so when you do this, you will get the answer lebih kurang 56.3136. Okay, kilogram or gram? No? Kilogram. Okay, so it's a very quick recap. Okay, even itu pun setengah jam sudah saya settle. It's a very quick recap of macam mana mau guna this table from left to right and from right to left. Okay, we spent such a long time doing this. I hope that if this question comes out, it's a 10-mark question. Kalau ini adalah soalan 10 markah, I really hope that you guys will be able to at least try to score a certain number lah. Okay, janganlah kasih kosong please lah, for the love of God. Okay, let's try to answer this as best as we can. Sorry, did my screen disappear? Can you see? Can you see? Nampak?
Can.
All right. Okay, I cannot really do much about this linear law, except to remind you that when they give this one, okay, this is a non-linear equation. Okay, kalau dia suruh kamu bina jadual, construct a table of y over punca x and punca x, and then lepas itu dia suruh kamu lukis begini, you know that, okay, those of you who are going to try, I'm just going to roughly draw this one for you. So y over square root of x, and then this will be square root of x. Okay, the graph will look like this. Okay, with a y-intercept of 2, about. Okay, about. Okay, so try this. Okay, try this and see if you get this lah. And then of course, they will always ask you to find the value of m and n. Dan ini yang menjadi masalah lah. Okay, sebab ini adalah y. Tapi kita punya paksi adalah y over square root x melawan x. Okay, so it should be y over square root x equals to gradient square root x plus y-intercept. Then y equals to mx plus c. Since our paksi y now is y over punca x equals to gradient paksi x, okay, which is square root of x plus the y-intercept. So you need to convert this to become this shape. Okay, let's take a slow look at this lah. So y equals to mx plus n to the square root of x. Kita mau ubah supaya dia jadi y over square root x equals to whatever the gradient is, then square root of x plus the y-intercept. Okay, that's what we want. So if you take a look at these two, you will notice that the most logical thing is to change this and this lah. Okay, we divide everything by square root of x. So we get y over square root of x equals to mx over square root of x plus n square root of x over square root of x. Okay, now this will give us, ini boleh potong. Okay, ini okay sudah kan? This one is a bit of a problem. Okay, if you remember this, x to the power of 1 minus x to the power of half. Sorry, divide. So it'll be x to the power of 1 minus half, which is actually x to the power of half, which is square root x. Okay, so this will be y over square root x equals to m square root x plus n. Okay, sama bentuk sudah kan, this and this? Tengok. Same shape sudah. So if you compare these two, kalau kita kasih tindih dua-dua itu, you can know that m is my gradient and n is my y-intercept. And so because of that, since just now I showed you the answer already, I said that the y-intercept is about 2. Okay, lebih kurang 2 lah. Okay, depending on your this one, you may get 2.5, you may get 3, or wow, no lah, I don't think 3 lah, maybe 2.5 or 1.5 lah. Okay, you may get around that value. It's okay. Whatever your value is, that is your y-intercept and that is your value of n. So in this answer, n equals to 2. M equals to gradient. Macam mana mau kira gradient? Sama lah. Lukis the triangle, yada 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 yada, and get the value of m. Okay, so in this chapter, the most important thing is how to convert a non-linear equation to a linear equation. Okay, it is the most important step. And you may be asked in algebraic form macam ini, atau you may be asked to do it in logarithm form. Okay, so if you are aiming to answer this question, you need to know both types of questions. This soalan adalah soalan dalam bentuk algebra. So they just, a square root of x begitu saja. Tidak melibatkan logaritma. Okay, but there is another type of question that involves logarithms. And I think in the other 2 sample papers that I gave you, there is a question on linear law that is berkaitan dengan logarithm. Okay, I would suggest that if you want to aim for this question, I don't know because I didn't do paper 2. So you cannot ask me, this year is it going to be this one or this one? But I know that last year for SPM, it was the logarithm question that came out. Okay, we targeted the logarithm question lah. So ngam-ngam logarithm question. Saya tidak ingat. Tapi yang saya ingat yang kami target itu yang keluar lah. Okay, so this year, for your trials, I don't know. Sorry, I cannot say anything. And I don't even know anything lah, actually. Okay, so it could be logarithm, it could be the linear one, and I would suggest that you study both. Okay, know how to change the logarithm equation to a linear equation. Okay, if you want to do, and let me check, just go ahead and message me. I should be free. Should be. Okay. Manalah ada such thing as free. Okay. Question number 10 is what's this? Coordinate geometry. Okay, so the important thing to remember about coordinate geometry, yang selalu orang lupa ini solution to this question by scale drawing is not accepted lah. If you actually plot it out in the graph, you can actually find the answer one, but you cannot. Okay, you cannot do scale drawing. And number 2, jangan ditipu oleh gambar raja. Sometimes the gambar raja looks like nampak macam dia, a certain angle to us kan. Okay, but the gambar raja is just a guide. Okay, all the information should be in the question. Okay, and not just the gambar raja. Okay, the equation of straight line KL, this one, is y equals to x plus 7. Now, the good thing about this gambar raja, although I just said that it's not very good, but okay, is that these 2 lines are parallel. Okay, what does parallel mean? Parallel means the gradient of KL and the gradient of NM is the same. So if this one, if KL is y equals to x plus 7, you know what is the gradient for this equation, which is 1. Okay, and so because KL is 1, M sorry, is also equals to 1 because they're salary. Okay, so can we find the equation of the straight line MN? Of course you can. Okay, you can either use one of two methods, and I cannot remember which is the method I taught you. I will usually use this one, y equals to mx plus c, cari c lah. Okay, or another one is you can use y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Sebab kamu ada sudah titik itu. Okay, you have the titik and you have the gradient. Okay, you can find that. Okay, I'm just going to do that to give you I'm just going to give you the answer, y equals to x minus 3 lah. Okay, that's the answer for the first one. Right? Okay, the next one is the trapezium, sorry, the equation of the straight line LM. Hold on now. Straight line LM. Okay, sorry. So they now give the gradient is negative 3 over 2. Can we find the equation? Of course we can. We use either one of these methods. Okay, we have the same point, bahkan cuma gradientnya saja yang berubah. Okay, so this one, the answer will be y equals to negative 3 over 2x plus 70. Okay, so I want this one now. Okay, then the coordinates of L. If you have the equation of KL and you have the equation of LM and you want to find this one, what is this point called? Okay, it is called the point of intersection. Right? And what do we do when it's point of intersection? How do we find the point of intersection? The coordinates lah. Okay, we need to do y equals to y. So this will be x plus 7 equals to negative 3 over 2x plus 17. Assuming that your B is correct lah. Okay, then kamu pindah cari x, lepas itu cari y, and don't forget to give your final answer as a coordinate. Okay, this one I'm writing to the boys lah, because the boys in our class have this very strange habit of forgetting to put the coordinates in as the final answer. Okay, and then saya balik-balik tegur pun kan masih sama ni. Some of the boys lah, okay, not all the boys, but some of the boys, especially the boys with the writing that is less than desirable lah. Okay, you know who you are lah kan kalau kau punya tulisan itu buruk macam apa. Okay, so the answer for this will be 4 and 11. Okay, so let me rub this off. It's too messy. Okay, so assuming that you get A, B, and C correct, it is 4 and 11. Okay, you can find the area of KLMN. Okay, the area of KLMN. Remember the formula that we used last year, the one that I did this. Kan, yang turun ke bawah lepas tu naik ke atas itu kan. Okay, so that's the formula for area. Okay, and of course the problem now is we don't have this one now. We don't have the value, the coordinate of n, but we have the equation of mn. We have this equation. Okay, so you will find that this coordinate, once you put it in, it is 3 and 0. Yes, okay, 3 and 0. Okay, so I need to recap this lah because I always find this happens. Okay, so the area, even if it's a quadrilateral, okay, is still half. Sorry, so you have the four coordinates, right? Negative 2 and 5, 4 and 11, 8 and 5, and 3 and 0. Okay, assuming that you got it all correct. Remember to make one full circle. That is the most important thing about this area thing, which a lot of people make mistake. Okay, you write negative 2, 5 dengan bangganya lah. Wow, saya tahu ini menggunakan ini. Sangat senang kan? Lepas itu kamu tutup di sini. Kenapa? Why even? Jangan. Okay, remember everything comes back full circle. Okay, like what they call karma. Okay, kamu buat jahat kepada orang lain akan buat jahat kepada kamu. It always comes back full circle. Okay, so so like this. I think maybe in the past I must have treated my teachers very badly, so that's why now I'm getting treated very badly. Gitu. Okay, so please remember, everybody, first and last coordinates need to be the same. Okay, whether it is a triangle, it is a quadrilateral, a pentagon, an octagon, or whatever gon that you have lah. Okay, jangan saja markah yang gon lah. Okay, make sure that the first and the last coordinate is the same. Okay, and then macam mana kamu darab? This one, the arrow I show you, right? Okay, all this is still in play lah. Ini senang lah. Remember, ke bawah kasih campur, and then ke atas kasih campur, tapi dua-dua grup kasih tolak. Okay, you will get the answer about 55. Okay, 55 unit square. Okay, right, we have time for just one last one. Okay, let's do this now. So diagram 3 shows the graph yada yada, straight line yada yada, which intersects at the point A and B. Okay, so find the coordinates of point A and point B. So the good news is this is also known as the point of intersection. Okay, so point of intersection, kita kasih y sama dengan y. You get x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals to 7 minus x. Okay, then kamu buat, and because there is a square over here, you are expecting 2x answers. Dan memang betul lah, kamu akan dapat 2 koordinat x because there's 2 points. Okay, so jangan hairan lah, you will get 2 coordinate x. And when you have 2x coordinates, remember to find the y coordinates and remember to write the final answer as a coordinate. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Okay, so please be careful about this. Okay, sayang ba kan? Sayang disebabkan kamu lupa kan? Okay, you forget the technical things. Okay, that's why you hilang markah. Padahal boleh juga kamu betul tu. Alright, you will get the answer. A is negative 5 and 12, and B is 1 and 6. Okay, negative 5 and 12, 1 and 6. Okay, of course, make sure you do correctly. And even when you do EQN, don't forget the wayang step. Okay, the wayang step. Make it a habit. Make it a habit always to write the wayang step. Okay, jangan okay, so say this question no need wayang step. So say this question must have wayang step. Then you find that you waste time trying to remember which question need the wayang step and which question no need the wayang step. Okay, my policy is just do the wayang step every time. Okay, but definitely if you don't do the wayang step, saya memang tidak bagi markah. The wayang step must be there. Okay, I hope you know what I mean by wayang step. Sorry ini perkataan wayang step ini kan diperkenalkan kepada saya oleh budak form 5 tahun lepas. Okay, diorang yang macam langkah wayang pula itu kan. Wayang saja sebenarnya, tapi tidak menyumbang kepada drama kehidupan. Okay, luas. Okay, the area of the unit over here. Okay, if you take a look at this, if the shaded region P is from this point to this point, okay, where x is negative 5 and 1. Okay, now if we separate it out, let me draw it out. Okay, so it's like this and like this. So this is negative 5. This is negative 5. This is 1. Okay, and this is the shaded region we want. Okay, remember when we want to find the shaded region, usually is one shape minus another shape. Kan? One shape minus another shape. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. And this is definitely from the chapter of integration. Okay. The thing that we need to understand now is the integration of negative 5 to 1. Okay, which is this from here to here. Okay, is the area under the graph, not the area above the graph. Okay, this area, the green color area. So if we want to find the area of P, okay, the area of P, will be what? The pink color area. The pink color area is also known as the area of the trapezium. Okay, so the area of P will be the trapezium minus, okay, the green color. Okay, area under graph. Okay, antara kesilapan pelajar yang paling utama, okay, most paling utama is dia integrate saja negative 5 to 1 and dia fikir itu salah jawapannya. Padahal remember, it is always under the graph, okay, not above the graph. Okay, sorry, what is this one? This one, the height of this is 12 daripada coordinate ini tadi bahkan, and the height of this is 6 because of the coordinates here. This is negative 5 and 12, and this is 1 and 6. So kamu tahu dia punya ketinggian. That's why the A question is so important, because it tells us more information than just, oh, begitu saja kah coordinate. It tells us the height as well. So we can calculate the trapezium. Okay, when you calculate the trapezium, I'm just going to go straight. The trapezium is 54. Okay, the answer for the trapezium is 54. Now the area under the graph is, I'm going to change color lah. So ugly this green. Okay, the area under the graph is the integration from negative 5 to 1. Guys, saya mau perbetulkan sikit lah, because one of you just now asked me and then balik-balik saya confused. We always read dari bawah ke atas negative 5 to 1. Okay, so area dari negative 5 to 1. Bukan 1 to negative 5. Okay, saya tahu kita biasa membaca dari atas ke bawah bahkan. But sometimes it's good to start at the bottom and go to the top. Okay, so wow. Apa itu? Falsafah hidup. X squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, towards dx. Alright, so this one will be integration. Now, remember, guys, the important thing about this integration is that even if you don't know how to do that, okay, let me give you a tip now. Especially for those of you who are struggling. Okay, for those of you who are struggling, like, what on earth is this lah? Saya tidak tahu macam mana mau buat. Okay, if you really don't know what to do, just integrate. Okay, because you know that this kind of question, because if you integrate, you are able to get at least 1 mark. Okay, integrate dengan betul. Walaupun kau tidak dapat jawapan yang betul, but you can still, curi a little bit of marks here and there. Don't give up on the question just because you don't understand what the question wants. Okay, sometimes I think for a lot of you, you have the skill, you know how to integrate, you know how to differentiate. Cuma bila soalan keluar, bahkan diorang kasih putar belit sampai macam ular sawah di tengah sawah kan. So it looks very complicated. If you don't know, just integrate or just differentiate, because there are marks in that section. Okay, tidak faham soalan pun kau integrate saja. Integrate dengan betul, you will get x cubed over 3 plus 3x squared over 2 plus 2x. Okay, macam ni. Negative 5 and 1. This act alone, guys, is definitely 1 mark. So, ini adalah kemahiran yang diajar masa Form 5. Definitely, they must give you marks for integrating correctly. Okay? But of course, you shouldn't just stop lah. Janganlah, okay, saya pandai sudah integrate. Jadi saya tiap payah jawab itu, ada sudah 1 markah di sana. Tampar kamu ini, okay? Just because you pandai integrate doesn't mean you should stop answering the question. Keep on going. Okay, so you will get, after you kira ini, you will get this as 18. So 54 minus 18, you will get 36 units squared. Okay, so for those of you who are still following me sampai sekarang, remember that the area question is usually one fixed shape minus the area under the graph. Okay, for those of you who are like ultra advanced, if you want to do both, in terms of integration, okay, you can actually do it. Hold on now, what is the equation? 7 minus x. Okay, so the trapezium, those of you who understand this, you can do this. It's also negative 5 to 1 of 7 minus x towards dx. You can do that if you want. Sebab area under the graph of this one, right, is this whole trapezium lah. Dari negative 5 sampai 1, this whole thing, okay, is the trapezium. Okay. I prefer to use trapezium because it is safer lah. Saya takut saya integrate salah, saya takut saya ganti salah. Okay, but if you really want to, you can also do it in this manner. Also no problem. Okay, the idea is calculate it separately, baru last kamu kira macam ni. Area equals to 54 minus 18 begitu. Okay, kira secara berasingan. Okay, one very important thing about answering paper 2 questions is to do everything bit by bit. Okay, do this, then bring it all together. Okay, janganlah dari mula kan kau kasih semua, and then you bring everything down with you. Very complicated. Jangan. Okay, last one. Okay, see. Of course, if they ask you to count area, they must ask you to count volume lah. Okay, volume is very normal. X-axis, kalau x-axis means y squared dx. Okay, y squared. We need to square the y x-axis. Yeah. Okay, the shaded region P is rotated through 360 degrees about the x-axis. Okay. Oh dear, maybe I should spend more time with this. Okay, so let's say, sorry, I need to change color, otherwise I cannot differentiate. Okay, so let's say this is this one. This shape, the trapezium shape, when we rotate it around the x-axis, it's going to give us like this very weird thing lah. Okay, very weird looking shape. What is it? It's like a begini bahkan. Yeah. Okay, it's going to give us like that. Actually, it's straight line, which is not a very set shape lah. Dia tiada bentuk yang tetap. Okay, so it's not a cone, it's not a cylinder. We can't really do much about it. So in this aspect, you will have to integrate twice. Okay, so it will be the volume. Okay, will be the integration of -5 to 1 pi. Okay, of y squared towards dx. Okay, minus the integration of -5 to 1 of the other y squared towards dx. Okay, so the one on top is the straight line, which is 7 minus x. Okay, so 7 minus x is, and you square it. Okay, 7 minus x and you square it, so it will be 7 minus x, the whole thing squared. Okay, then you integrate lah. Okay, and then the second one is, this is a very strange question. You know what? I think it's a very strange question, although I know that I'm correct. Okay, that's better. Wow. Wow, this is a very cruel question, but can lah, can. Okay, this second y, unfortunately for you, this second y, okay, unfortunately for you lah, okay, is x squared plus 3x plus 2. So x squared plus 3x plus 2, the whole thing squared terhadap dx. Wow, this is so bad. Yeah, actually it's a very bad question. No, it's not something that you are supposed to do. This was something that I did when I was in school, but not something that we do nowadays. But anyway, yeah, but basically that's the idea lah. Okay, yeah, baru 4 markah kan. Hebat tu. Okay, fine. If you want to try this question, okay, the answer is 388.8 pi. Okay, unit cube. Okay. Actually, if you notice, since both the limits are the same, right, you can actually combine them together. So it will be integration of -5 to 1, 7 minus x squared, minus x squared plus 3x plus 2 squared. Okay, pi of course in front. Okay, and then terhadap dx. Okay, wow, this is a very cruel question. It is cruel because jarang ni kita jumpa macam ni tau. Do you know how to square this? It's a crazy amount of square. If you want to try lah, okay, only if you want to try, but I really think that it's not worth your time. And I don't even know whether you have time to do that now. It's ini darab ini darab ini darab ini. Step one. Step two, ini darab ini darab ini darab ini. And then there's a third step, which is this and this and this and this. So you have 9 sebutan altogether. Wah, gila. X to the power of 4 plus 3x to the power of 3 plus 2x squared. Okay, then the blue color plus 3x cubed plus 9x squared plus 6x. And then the green, green color, 2x squared plus 6x plus 4. Then you simplify all this. Belum lagi integrate tau, baru mau simplify di benda ini. Okay, yeah, and it's 4 marks. Memang layak lah 4 marks lah. Jahat lah. It's a very jahat question lah. Okay, definitely won't come out. Okay, definitely this one won't come out. But I just want to remind you that when you give your final answer, tinggalkan pi, just give the number and make sure you write unit cube. Okay, that's for integration. All right.